Boom.
Boom.
We good?
Yeah.
All tapped in?
What's today?
All right. So the first thing I wanted to share was like Monday motivation. I feel like God spoke to me during training today. Usually when I get into my sets, I stop thinking about the reps and I just start thinking about the connection, biomechanics, the hips, the core, all these little things. But eventually my mind starts wanting to think of a number. 5 more reps, 5 more reps, and 5 more reps, and then what? And then you're worthy is what I say to myself. But then I have this thought in me that was like, I don't want to be wrong with my worthiness. So I was yelling to God in the set and I was like, God, how many more reps? 5 more? 6 more? 7 more? Give me a number. I remember being mad at God in my head in this set. Give me a number that I'm worthy at. In an instant, it goes to like calmness. He says, there was never a number at which you were worthy. I always expected just your best. I didn't hear the words, but I felt that answer. And from that moment on, it was just like, be present, be in the pain. There is no number. It's more, are you trying your best? I think God says there is no number as long as you're trying your best and you walk alongside me as you're doing it. So that was my Monday motivation, and that's the first thing we're going to start office hours with. Last one. Go. Slow. Partials. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Control. There's like different ways to like intensify a set for different people. Like there is no one way. Like some people need partials, some people like throw rest pause in there, some people just force reps themselves, like some people are eccentric at the end. I wish there was a cheat code to like spot somebody or train somebody, but it's just repetition. Like I've always trained with somebody, I've always spotted people, I've done 1,000 sets, like you just gotta put the reps in to know how to push somebody. En el TikTok, mira, tenemos doble TikTok. A ver con los fanáticos. ¿Qué estás haciendo?
Ahora me toca hacer
Oh, front raises? Ok. A ver, ¿con cuál? ¿Los 15? ¿Los 15? Sí. Ay, güey.
¿Con 30?
Con 10. A ver, te traigo los 10. He's like, yo no sé. Si lo haces así o lo haces así, no estás mal en hacerlo de una o de la otra manera. Nada más es qué músculo estás tratando de reclutar. So, si lo haces así,
No lo hago así.
así vas a reclutar el anterior, el del frente. Si lo haces así, vas a reclutar más el mediales, de aquí al ladito. En este día haces de los lateral raises, haces de los de palado. Hoy sí haces. Ok, entonces ya hiciste este músculo. Sí. Ahora tienes que hacer solo tienes que cambiar a esto. Okay. A esto es como si estuvieras levantando un brindis para la quinceañera.
Eran alternating.
Alternating, sale. So, entonces,
Dice,
pues dale con estas porque con estas no sé si vas a poder.
Sí puedo.
A ver.
I swear.
A ver. Dice que está más mamada que yo. Agárrala de arriba. Oh, y manténlo un poquito enfrente para que tengas tensión y luego los das así.
Okay.
Pero con el brazo un poquito extendido, pero no así, pero un poquito dobladito. Pero hasta arriba, mija. Y trata de hold it. Sí, and then para bajito, ¿verdad? Ahora se hizo más dificilito, ¿verdad? No. ¿Cómo no? Si pierdes tensión aquí abajo en la que está descansando, ya estás, that's defeating the purpose.
¿Cómo tensión?
Tienes que sentir como un jaloncito. Sí, abajito todavía tienes que sentir el jaloncito. Si te bajas mucho, perdiste la tensión en la serie. Ya se puso dificilito, ¿verdad? Ya se puso dificilito, no dobles esa manita.
Me está picando algo en la espalda.
Ya, mero, no hay nada. Tú dale aquí, ahí siéntelo. Dale, hasta arriba. Try to hold it.
Ya está quemando.
Ya está quemando. Ya, no quema acá. Bro, we go bilingual up in this mix. Mantén la tensión cuando estás descansando. Sí, si lo necesitas poner aquí, ponla allí, más para enfrente. ¿Verdad? Dale. Está bien. Para la próxima serie trata de ponerlas un poquito más para acá porque cuando ya estás aquí ya pierdes mucha tensión. Aquí tienes tensión. No, pero con la 15 no vas a poder.
This is what I was doing, mira.
Ya, pero ya, estás usando este músculo otra vez. Estás usando este. Necesitas usar este. Este. Ya, ¿sabes? Sale.
How am I going to translate all
I'm
this?
telling you, I feel like I always do something and then he comes and then now he kills me.
But, wait for a leg day. The leg days. In a leg day, yeah. On a Wednesday, when she has to run after a leg day, she walks. Hasta abajo. Control. Dos más, control. Dale. Última, control. Dale. Súbele el peso, güey, no mames. Probably was working with one plate. Métele dos, and we'll stage that. We're gonna fuck him up. We're gonna get him to a set to about 10 to 15, hard as fuck. Dale. No pierdas el pino. Hasta abajo, dale. Hasta abajo, siente el estirón. Y dale. Otra. No, dale, güey, no mames. Mira. Hasta abajo, pero hasta abajo para que cuenta. Nah. He don't have faith. He don't trust that I got him. Controlado. Así. Ten fe. Hasta abajo. Hasta abajo para que cuenten. Dale. Control. Que no bounce. Siente dónde está. Tú tienes que tener control de la pesa en cualquier momento. Tú tienes control. Dale. Hasta abajo. Otra. Dale. No, dale. ¿Qué dijimos? Los dos podemos. Dale, papá. No, trabájale duro, papá. Aquí se trabaja duro, papá. Dale. Vamos a minchas de la serie. Hasta abajo. Dale. No, si te renuncias ahorita, güey, no mames, vas a sentirte bien culero todo el día. No, pudiste hacer más y tú sabes. Hasta abajo. Side. Man's got a lot more. ¿Cómo se siente? ¿Trabajaste duro? 1 al 10. 8. He said an 8. RPE 8.
Okay, so the question was, is someone able to tap into the flight or fight mode during training? I'm talking about like extreme fight or flight. Like we've heard these cases of like the single mother being able to lift a car off her like crushed child. Like we hear these crazy stories of like humans being able to do superhuman shit, and it's due to the adrenaline spike, and the adrenaline is epinephrine and norepinephrine, adrenaline and noradrenaline. So those are two catecholamines. They're called catecholamines, which are hormones triggered during the flight or fight response mode. And it happens throughout the day, actually, but it's like, to what degree does it happen? It's on a spectrum. Like when somebody like cuts you off, like it gets triggered, but then it comes back down, and it goes to like what's called sympathetic mode, like, and then it goes to parasympathetic. I think Spanish, like para means like to stop, and that's parasympathetic, which is kind of like rest and digest, chill mode. So it's like, can in a training session we tap into these extreme like sympathetic fight or flight mode? That's the question. And my answer is No. Why? Because I think it's both a internal as an external cueing. So it's like you have to have the stimuli, you have to create the environment for it to happen. Yes, I feel like there has to be an element of surprise in a way. Like if I'm expecting there to be this situation, I know that I'm being tested, therefore like it doesn't seem like a plausible threat. Like you almost have to create like a real threat scenario. And as like much as we think we can create that in the gym, I think that it's extremely hard. They're like you would literally have to put the baby under the leg press or some shit like that in order to replicate it, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think that would be humane, nor wise. So for that reason, I don't think you can do it. I do think, however, and this is the firm basis as to why I think working with somebody in person or having a training partner is important, is because somebody can teach you how to work harder. Like how to work harder and tap into that mode is possible for sure, but I think it moves asymptotically. Like you get to a certain point where it's almost like to get work harder, it takes a lot more time. Like when you first start training, like fuck, dude, like your sets will look drastically different in terms of effort from week 1 to week number like 40. But then like once you've been doing it for quite some time, it's like you pretty much reached it, and there's like a cliff you can't cross unless there's something bigger on the line.
So explain RPE then.
Oh, so RPE, rate of perceived exertion. So I think first of all, that scale. So when I talk about that 10, it's almost like the 10 is like an asymptotic 10. Like I never expect anybody to like tell me like you train to 10, like RPE 10. It's impossible. Like you probably train like 9.7, like the most brutal set of your life. For like I'm talking about like top set turned into like forced reps, turned into partials, turned into a drop set, turned into this, like one of those like Tom Platz crazy ass fucking leg day shits, like 9.5, 9.7, and that's if you're a very good trainee. If
you
you're
like Dave Portnoy, right, in all his pizza reviews, and he explains the
Oh, yeah.
idea of there's no such thing as a perfect 10.
Oh, exactly, like that motherfucker.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a 10. A 10 tells me like you probably replicated that scenario I was talking about, and you put like your newborn like under that leg press, and you were like, I just want to be the one person to have trained RPE 10. In which case, if you're willing to sacrifice your firstborn to prove that point, you're a selfish fuck.
Spend years in jail. But hey, we hit RPE 10.
We live forever.
We hit RPE 10. So what's the highest you think you've ever hit then?
Oh,
like what's the hardest you've ever pushed?
Dude, I think like an RPE 9.4 to 9.6.
What happened?
I get like anything when I cross like a 9.25, 9.3, I get emotional, very emotional. Like I'm telling you, like this morning we talked about, or like earlier we talked about how like God spoke to me, like literally, like I try to contain myself from crying because I don't want to be a bitch in the gym, like, and cry and like, why is this motherfucker crying and sweating and like, but I get emotional. Like I get emotional, and I see it with other people. Like I've done it with like Denise. Like she like had like a really emotional week, and I was like, girl, like I'm just gonna put you through it. Like you're gonna keep going until I tell you to go. You're not gonna stop. And then I mean, well, she's a girl, so like when the hack squat scenario, like I could lift one plate easily. So it got to the point where I was like, it was me, and she was just trying to control her legs from shaking. She was just like, and she got done with this set, and all I saw was her ball up, and she was just emotional. And I think that's what happens. Like you kind of surprise yourself that you work that hard, and then it's a feeling of reassurance that like, you know what, like yes, it was hard, but it's done, it's over, and you're better because of it.
And a lot of people go to the gym because they're just dealing with shit.
Yeah, they go to the gym because they're dealing with shit, and there's two sides to that. Like the gym is inherently stressful. Like this is a stressor, like anything else is a stressor. In like a bucket, there's only so much stress your bucket can hold. So if you're dealing with like a lot of busyness, like you're in like in a big season of like your business, like work, like maybe you're an accountant and it's tax season. Like, hey, bro, like putting a growth phase like while you're in tax season might not be the best idea, just because two things are going to be really demanding demanding. So it's like there's ways to kind of like make this sustainable for life, and that's one thing that I figured out. You can't just go. You can, but it will never work long term. So I mean, it doesn't mean you can't, like, for sure do it, but I will see you in like 6 months, maybe in 12 months, maybe in 18 months. It took me 18 months of go, but eventually I fucking crashed, and I crashed hard.
Damn. Yeah. That's exciting, dude.
Yeah.
So if you had one message before you dip off, right? The first thing that comes to mind right now. What do you want to tell the camera?
Well, first thing that comes to mind. Dang.
Don't even think about it. Just say it.
Yo, if you're looking for a place to live, low key, I have this like affordable like room in like this house, and it's got a cold plunge, it's got a sauna, it's got a posing mirror, it's got a gym, it's got cardio equipment, potentially even an office space if you need it. Super affordable, $500 a month. Plus utilities that are shared amongst the people there. Pretty dope vibes from the people there. Yeah, so that was like, if you're interested in kind of like living in that kind of ambiance and being close to gyms, this is like in Butte. This is in Butte, Texas, by the way, just so you guys have an idea of where this is. If you're interested for whatever reason, shoot me a DM, and hopefully you can be part of the crew.
Word.
Yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah.